is about $500 a month. Google MetaShare and see if it is a fit for you.
7:37 Team Hochberg Traffic Center time and Jim.
It's another gloomy traffic morning, but the traffic volume's not too heavy as we look at the inbound Stevenson right now. It's congested from Central to Kedzie and then from Ashland to the Ryan, with heavy ramp to the inbound Ryan. For trip time, the Veterans Memorial Tollway to Lakeshore Drive is 32 minutes. Outbound it's 28. Inbound Ryan, your stop and go from the Stevenson to the Burns Circle. It's 20 minutes, 95th to downtown. Outbound 14 minutes. I-57 outbound, the on-ramp from Holstead has reopened after a crash. We're not seeing delays on I-57 with Bishop Ford. Kennedy inbound, 21 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. The Eisenhower's 31 minutes from 390 to the Burns Circle. Lakeshore Drive, it's 24 minutes either way between Hollywood and Marquette. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next in our AM 560 Weather Center. Cloudy, breezy this afternoon, high 41. It's 33 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560, The Answer, online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, on TuneIn, iHeart, and radio.com. Let freedom ring this afternoon at 2 with Sean Hannity on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Over the weekend, the Chicago Teachers Union tweeted out that reopening schools is rooted in racism and bigotry and misogyny. They're protesting the reopening of Chicago public schools. Let me just put this question to people. Would you choose, I'm talking about parents of CTU students, would you choose to send your child to a CTU school? And I mean CTU, not CPS, because it's the Chicago Teachers Union school system, not the Chicago Public School System. Would you choose to send your kid to a CTU school if expense and choice was not an option, was no obstacle? If you had unlimited funds and unlimited choices, would you send your kid to a Chicago Teachers Union school? Because if you answer yes to that question, then you are answering yes to child abuse as far as I'm concerned. The Chicago Teachers Union business is educating children in the same way that Cosa Nostra's was the importing and exporting of olive oil. That is a front for what they actually do when they say it's for the children, as you're seeing play out in real time with their protesting reopening the schools, despite, as we talked about earlier in the show, despite the scientific consensus that the kids should be in school.
Yeah, they're defying the science and research to keep schools closed. From children from poor families, most led by single parents. That's sexism, racism, and misogyny. I mean, how dare they tweet that? And of course, Dan, when they got pushback from even liberals, they deleted that tweet.
What should be, rather than trying, I mean, and this is, again, you should be rallying for the schools to stay closed, not for the schools to open in Chicago. You should be rallying for them to stay closed and say, liquidate the $8 billion budget and distribute it in the form of opportunity scholarships to every CPS family whose kid qualifies for a free or reduced school lunch. That's 90% of CPS students. Start there. And then work backward if you have excess cash to get the rest. And if there are schools that parents would choose to resend their kids to that are public schools in Chicago, then God bless them, they can open their doors because they can survive based on whatever their model is, because parents are choosing to do so. The rest, the point here is 1,000 flowers bloom so 350,000 kids can blossom. Because I thought that was the point of these systems.
They don't care about the kids. I mean, they should invalidate the teacher's contract and let the LSC decide. Let us decide. I mean, we did with police in the schools. Well, 3/4 of the schools, the LSC decided we're going to keep our Chicago police officers in our hallways. But we've got to do something. I mean, they're never going to go back because we have a governor who's a wuss. We have a mayor who she's already tried to battle them and lost that, and she knows she doesn't have a leg to stand on.
The local school councils, the teachers union run local school councils. I don't understand why, particularly since you are one, a parent in the Chicago public school system would not take the advantage of this opportunity to say, we're going to do something different. I'm going to advocate for something completely different because this is completely wrong.
And advocate for not opening up at all.
You heard what I said.
Right, I heard what you said.
And the resources to choose a different path for your kids. And if you want to choose the same path, and a bunch of parents want to choose the same path of the school that's shuttered right now, that where your kids go, then you can choose that path too. You know, like at the collegiate level, where you get to take your dollars and your kid can go to whatever school he wants and apply those dollars to that school, public, private, otherwise. In Montgomery County, Maryland, our friend Jim Bovar writing about this at American Institute for Economic Research, where he lives, Montgomery County, Maryland. December 3rd, County Board of Education meeting. The County Board of Education reporting this. 500% increase in the number of black junior high school students failing math. 600% increase in Hispanic students failing. The percentage of black elementary school students failing English increased more than 350%. The percentage of Hispanic students failing increased more than 500%. But these teachers' unions, these shutdown artists, they're all about opportunity for people of color and children of color. Is that right?
That's who they're hurting the most.
As Bovard writes, shutting down public schools has done more harm to black students than anything since the end of local school segregation in 1961. Wow. And based on the numbers, it's hard to argue with them. And this was with respect to government school systems that weren't exactly knocking it out of the park beforehand. For more on this, we're pleased to be joined by our friend Ian Rowe, who knows something about K-12 education. He ran successful charter schools in tough neighborhoods in New York City, public prep schools. He is a resident fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, visiting senior fellow at 1776 Unites, and he's got a piece in the USA Today about this topic. Ian, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me. It's kind of crazy what's going on in Chicago. Like what's happening in much of the country. Yeah,
it is kind of crazy. And so there's a remedy that the left has come up with for the affliction that they've unleashed. And that's perhaps best exemplified in the San Diego School District, which we've spoken about and you wrote about. Well, that's no problem. If we see these huge spikes in black and Latino students failing, then we just have to equalize that, and we have to try and get as many white kids to fail as black and Latino kids to level it out.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, in San Diego Unified, they identified that 20% of black kids were receiving a D or an F grade, and they recognized that 7% of white kids were failing with the same grades. But what's interesting about that means that 80% of black kids were passing. So what were the ingredients? Was it that they were studying harder? Were they getting their homework in on time? But rather than look at that, the district said, no, let's look at the disparity between the number of black kids failing and the number of white kids. And that 13 percentage point racial disparity, they decided, must be a function of systemic racism. And as a result, the entire school system has to become an anti-racist district. So one of their first major steps was to say, let's just eliminate the need to hand in homework on time in the name of anti-racism. So just think about that for a sec. Wait, so you're saying it's racist to expect homework to be done on time? How is that helping children? And one of the interesting things about this is that the local NBC News affiliate interviewed a white student, a student who's actually on the San Diego Unified Board, who voted unanimously to eliminate the need to submit homework on time. And they asked him, how did he feel about this? And he said he was so excited by these changes. He's so earnest, this white student. And he said that, because it's not fair to hold kids to a standard that they're not able to meet.
But that's what makes them better creatures in society. I mean, that's just like what happened in Pennsylvania. If you can't vote on time, it's okay. We'll let you have 3 days to slide.
Well, just think about the real world. How often can you go to your employer and say, "Oh yeah, I'll get that. I'll get whatever the deliverable is to you, on my timetable, not yours."
Yeah,
And
Well, that may be
in
coming
the
to
real world.
that may be coming to Fortune 500 companies. I mean, that sort of approach. And here's the thing. I mean, the obvious thing here is how condescending and oppressive that is. How you're discarding somebody's agency, you're discarding their ability. You're the racist, and it seems to me that we've lost this argument that the anti-racists have made so much progress in spite of the intellectual infirmity of their position. Because we won't say that policy is racist. You're telling me that a black student can't hand his homework in on time like a white student can? That's a bunch of nonsense. And you need black families to stand up and say so. That's falderall. And how dare you have such low expectations for my kid?
Right, and now it's not only low expectations for black kids, it's low expectations for all kids, because they've just reduced the expectation for all 106,000 kids in the San Diego school system. It's ridiculous. And so what they've said is, no, we're focused on this idea of mastery. And mastery is a concept that every educator is aware of. That's what you should be seeking to achieve anyway, that at the end of the year, a student should be able to demonstrate mastery within a given context. Well, guess what? Mastery isn't just achieved at the end of the year. It's not like you cram for the final. It's demonstrated over the course of the year to show that you're making progress through homework, through interim assessments, that teachers can see, do you need additional help or not? By eliminating those mechanisms to measure ongoing progress and then just hoping at the end that the kid will demonstrate mastery is a completely inane way to pursue education. The irony is if you do that and then at the end of the year there are now racial disparities, will the reason be that you eliminated homework on time? No, they'll say it's because of systemic racism. And so this merry-go-round just continues, and this is what we have to battle.
Well, where are the parents in all this? I mean, they just agreed?
Well, this is why choice is so central to all of this, because I can't imagine. I mean, if my teacher for my own children came to me and said, "Oh, we're no longer requiring homework on time," I'd say, "What are you talking about?" And so parents should have the right to say no to a school system that makes this kind of decision, and hopefully they do have an opportunity to go to a school that says, hey, in the real world, you've got to demonstrate conscientiousness, showing up on time, doing what you said you would do, being responsible, because that's how the real world works. And so we want to encourage strong study habits. We are holding you accountable to get your homework on time as a way to demonstrate that you're on a pathway to mastery. That's why choice is so important, because when schools have a monopoly and can make this kind of decision, what is a parent to do?
Mm-hmm. He is Ian Rowe, resident fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, co-founder of the National Summer School Initiative, former CEO of Public Prep in the Bronx. Ian, thanks for joining us as always. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yep.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I think for older people, I think they really need to understand that this product will give you the energy that you need to sustain throughout a day. Right now, I just can't hardly make it through the day if I don't start my day out taking 3 of each every day. Yeah, I'm a flag waver for the product. I believe in it. I know it's helping me. I feel I'm more satisfied that I've got my energy level for the day. And, for the last 2 weeks, I've been working over at my mom's house to get it ready to sell. It's just unbelievable. I guarantee you, if you saw me compared to the rest of the guys that are 74, you think them boys is ready for the couch. And I'm going strong all day long and have been for quite some time now.
Balance of Nature is now offering 35% off on any new preferred order. Go to balanceofnature.com today and use discount code Chicago.
All right, guys, this year's made us all want to stay in bed, so why not dream a little dream with the one you love? Kickstart some romance this Christmas with the new Midnight Fantasy Pajamas from our good friends at Pajamagram, America's PJ experts for nearly 20 years. Seductive with a hint of lace, silky and smooth to the touch, Midnight Fantasy pajamas are a dream come true for her and you. Warm her up and treat her to the ultimate fantasy with the Midnight Fantasy pajamas. Check them out at pajamagram.com. And right now, when you order today, you'll get free gift packaging. That means you don't have to wrap a thing. She's missed out on a lot this year, so give her the romance she deserves. Get her Midnight Fantasy pajamas and free gift packaging today before the deal disappears. Just go to pajamagram.com. It's fast, easy, and delivery by Christmas guaranteed. That's pajamagram.com. Pajamagram.com, and tell them Dan and Amy sent you.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Marvelous, because I, a thespian, have been on a quest for the perfect insurance.
Sweet balcony.
I've requested no less than 13 balconies.
That's a lot.
All the world's a stage.
Well, with Liberty Mutual, thou customize and thou saveth.
That's the spirit.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Napa know-how.
Nothing causes holiday stress like the words, "some assembly required." Well, Napa's here to help with an Evercraft 100-piece screwdriver set for just $19.99. So no matter what Santa and his elves leave for you to put together, you'll be prepared. So save on the Evercraft 100-piece screwdriver set and other great tools from Napa. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating locations while supplies last. Offer ends 12/31/20.
Being overweight may not be your fault. You may just have hormone imbalances. To lose that fat, NJ Diet uses your hair and saliva samples along with their bioenergetic scans to personalize natural solutions and supplements that will balance your hormones, where the side effect is weight loss. With NJ Diet, you will shed a contractually guaranteed 20 to 50 plus pounds in only 40 days. Then, NJ Diet utilizes DNA testing to determine your ideal diet, workout regimen, and specific needs for essential vitamins, plus many more metabolic factors, so you can keep the weight off. NJ Diet is all natural, no shots, no hormones, and no surgery. Full supervision is provided every step of the way, and you even get the doctor's personal email and phone number. NJ Diet is available in Chicago and worldwide with live online video consultation, so call them today, 855-5-NJ-DIET. That's 855-5-NJ-DIET, or go to njdiet.com to lose the weight for good. That's njdiet.com.
Mike Gallagher here. You've heard me talk about my friends at Roland's Jewelers, located in downtown Libertyville. Roland's is a family-owned jeweler, and I believe in supporting small businesses this year more than ever. I love working with folks like Marley, a second-generation owner, or the manager, Anne Marie, who's been there 20 years. These are people you can trust. They have the knowledge, they have the commitment to help you create that magical moment. This holiday season, Roland's has beautiful jewelry collections from Roberto Coin, Mikimoto, Simon G, Hearts on Fire, John Hardy, and Swiss timepieces from Tag Heuer, pre-owned Rolexes. You can visit their beautiful showroom or shop online at rolandsjewelers.com like I did. I wear watches from there, and I'm a customer.